My name is Latifa Meena. I'm an animal psychic and communicator, and I teach the animal diploma courses for the whole Pet Grooming Academy. I also have about 4 online classes, which helps the groomers in learning their energy with dogs on the table. We do a little bit of essential oils to talk about how that can help, self-awareness of your energy, and we want to make sure the groomers are getting a little more education to help them while they're doing their job. So a little more knowledge than just having just the diploma. So we've got a couple online courses we do as well. I think my passion derives from helping a person understand there's more outside of just what they're taught in school or a book, that it's more real world experience. And when you see a student really begin to, oh, wow, that does make sense and that is working. And they're actually seeing results from what they're doing. It drives my passion greater. It's helping a person to understand that it's a little of this and a little of that and some of this, and it's not just blinkers and blinders on, so to speak. If you can create a workspace and a work area and work energy that feels good to you, that works for you. And I think a lot of people just don't realize that. So my passion, when I see students really, oh, the light bulb goes off like, oh my God, I never thought of that. So an animal communication is not for everybody, but in the grooming industry, it should be, because it's one of the vital tools we can use to help the animals to understand what's happening, to help them settle. So I think I think if I had to really say, the passion is the students learning, and what a better all around experience the groomer and the dog are going to have when they actually get to use the tools. And I think that just, I don't get a lot of feedback from a lot of that sometimes. So, but when I do, I know it's overwhelming and it's powerful. What's different about me is that I have a different viewpoint, and I have minimal grooming experience. So I'm not really bogged down or affected by the grooming industry, so to speak. So I know a lot of groomers, when they start to come into the industry, find it can be a very challenging job depending on what city state they're located in and their working environment. I think for me, the perspective that I bring is, again, you can create the work environment that you want. But while anybody can do this work like I do, and anybody could be a groomer or a doctor or a dentist or whatever they want to be, there's a certain calling to some people who really want to work with the animals. And after 18 years, 19 years of doing this professionally, I find I continue to be surprised and amazed, and I continue to learn more and more and more. I don't know, while everybody has a unique way to communicate, whether it's their energy or they talk to the animal or their intuitiveness, everybody has some kind of a connection that they use. The animal communication piece and the knowledge and experience that I bring to the table for the school and for all of my clients is, here's what I've learned in the past. Now, let me give you the good and bad and the ugly about everything, so that you have all the information you need so that you can build a better foundation and a better baseline. And not everybody and not every groomer uses that. But once you learn that this tool is available, and I think after 18 years and all the clients and all the different breeds and species of animals that I've had, it helps me in a unique perspective. And again, I'm not bogged down by the grooming industry. So I'm not really worried about other groomers or what they may think or say of that. My focus is completely on the student and the animal that they're working with, because I want those two to have the best experience they can. So I'm a little different. I just don't have a lot of the groomer stuff behind me, but I help. In my field, it doesn't change a whole lot. In other words, the animal communication steps stay the same. They don't really change over time. Learning how to be an animal communicator is pretty basic and it's pretty available, I'm not regulated by a bunch of boards or a national industry that says you have to do this or that. So I'm a little different because I don't have to go and get credentialed every year or keep that stuff up. My experience is learning from my other clients. When and it's I know this is going to sound a little awkward and a little weird, but when there's something happening vibrational wise on the planet, when I know something is shifting and the animals are shifting, it helps me to give that information out to my students and my clients. I don't really have to keep up a continuum education. Like I said, my field really doesn't change. Once you get connected, you get connected, and the information stays pretty static. However, what does change is the way a person receives the information and the baseline that a student creates. So my perspective is to stay open to all types of ways of communication. And sometimes I can get a little narrowed, like it's A, B, or C. And I remind myself I have to open that up because everybody can communicate on a different level and in their own way. So I take everything that I learn, and a lot of times I'll have a session with a client that I've never had before, or it'll be something that I've learned about how a dog or a horse or a cat work. And then I will take that and include that into my classes. So that's really how I get a lot more of my education, is by continuing to do online learning with my clients and my students. I was a teacher before I did animal communication. As a Microsoft engineer and a Microsoft computer geek, I taught classrooms across the nation. So teaching for me is pretty much a background. I just kind of fell into my computer job. And then when this came along and I started thinking, what I need to share this, and how do I share this, and how do I make this a legitimate field that it can be credentialed, it can be legitimate, and it's not a fly by the seat of your pants thing. There's a lot of effort, time, passion, and work a student puts into getting a diploma, no matter what the field is. So when I approached the academy about teaching this, you guys were all ears and ready and open, which was perfect. So it really provided me the perfect light and the perfect base and the great classroom environment that we have set up, that the school has set up, that you can reach anybody virtually all throughout the entire world. And I can't think of a better way than to teach. It's just something that I enjoy, and it's something that at the end of the day, I can't tell you how many times I've had a student go, "Oh, I got it." And I'm like, yeah. And to watch them grow, my passion for the teaching continues when I see students grow and they get that aha moment and the light bulb goes off and everything starts to click and they really gravitate to the concept and the understanding of it. And for me, I've had so many people and students appreciative of the knowledge and the way it's shared and the things that they learn. And that just continues to motivate me. I'm to teach as many people that are willing to want to learn. The diploma for the professional animal communicator is designed to take anybody who wants to become a professional animal communicator, meaning that they really want to earn a living through that they want the skill sets from A to B, including business, so that we take you from ground zero basic all the way through the professional course. There are 6 courses. There's 193 hours involved in that diploma course, and I believe around 190 something videos. I'd have to go back and look, but it's quite a bit of video. There's a lot of homework associated with it. This course is really for the person that's looking for the career change and or the career enhancement. So you're the veterinarian, or you're the dog trainer, or a dog groomer, or you are a breeder, or you work with horses or cats, or some type of an animal profession that you are already engaged in. And this is just another credential. Plus, it helps you with your skill set. We do 2 hours a week, and we meet for a total of 4 months, sometimes 5 months, depending. And we go back to back through those courses. There's basic, advanced 1, advanced 2, death and dying, boundaries and ethics, and then the professional. And you don't have to have prior experience. You don't have to have any knowledge of communicating or anything like that. We start from ground zero basic. So this course and the basic course is 40 hours. I believe the advanced 1 and 2 are 40 hours. The death and dying, I believe, is 25 hours. My boundaries and ethics is, I think, 20, and 18 hours for the professional. So we spend a lot of time. We do a lot of practice, and it's really geared for that person that's doing the professional. I've had several veterinarians come through the course that has helped their practice in doing the professional. I have, I think, 3 or 4 students after graduating from the professional diploma course have gone on to do this full time and are doing this professionally. They are earning a living. And so that's exactly what this course is designed. It's all online. We do give the students a choice through the 18-hour professional if they'd like to meet for those 18 hours in person. That's an option and a choice that we decide in class. But for the most part, everything is online and everything is done right through Zoom. It's just easy peasy and right through the academy. And it's a lot of work, it's a lot of effort, and it's a lot of time, but it's extremely rewarding at the end of it. And the diploma is federally recognized. So that's another big, huge feather in a lot of people's cap because they want that credential and they're looking for that credential. The diploma of animal communication. This is a slimmed down version from the professional. And while the professional is geared to make you a professional animal communicator, the diploma of animal communication is for those individuals that are looking to learn this skill set, but they want it for their own personal reason, or they want to do the education first. They're not really sure, maybe they want to make a living out of this, but they're committed to making the education. They're committed to putting in the work and the hours. We do a basic course, advanced 1, advanced 2, a death and dying, and a boundaries and ethics. However, these courses are not full-blown 40 hours, and they're not the 2025. They are much more slimmed down. I believe the basic course is 25 hours, the advanced 1 and 2 is 25, and I believe the other 2, the death and dying and boundaries and ethics, are about 15 hours each. A lot less homework, a lot less videos. This is for that person. And again, you don't have to have prior experience for doing animal communication. A lot of people take this diploma just for the love of animals, and they really want the education. They want to have this to springboard them in case they really decide to become professional or do this for extra income on the side and to know some of what that entails. So we found a lot of people really wanted the diploma for the professional, but they weren't sure they wanted to do this as a living. So we created the diploma of animal communication. You'll get the same information, but we just don't go as in depth and we don't have as much homework. We do practice as well. Same thing, the classes are all online and they're all virtual. We do not meet in person for the diploma of animal communication. We simply just do everything online, but it's a great way for you to get, again, a diploma that's federally recognized, and it's a feather in your cap to say, I accomplished this, and you're going to learn the skill sets that you need to become an animal communicator. It's a perfect match for those that just want to do this for their own benefit and their own education. In addition to the 2 diploma courses, I teach 4 online courses, but they're 4 hours each. They're just simple do-it-yourself paced courses. One of those is the self-awareness of your energy. And the reason this is important for groomers is to know that the animals that you work with understand, feel, and see your energy field. They understand your energy. Are you mad? Are you sick? Are you sad? Are you happy? Are you angry? And not just for that moment, but what's happening deep inside. So this 4-hour class helps you to be more self-aware of the energy that you're holding, the ways to cleanse the energy, how to project that and make sure that you're aware of what you're projecting to the animal that you're working with, and how to keep a more clear energy field for you and the animal that you're working with. Again, it's a self-paced course. You'll do everything through the videos, and then there's a little test at the end that I'll grade right through the academy campus, and it's pretty easy peasy. Some of these are ingrained in some of the master diploma programs for the academy, but you're more than welcome if you just want to take the 4-hour course. It's open to anybody and everybody, and perhaps you've been a groomer for quite a while and you're just curious about the energy piece of it. It's a great way to gain a little bit more knowledge. Communicating with the animal on your table. This is going to be a little more verbal than it is about the self-awareness of energy. Animals understand every single thing you tell them. They understand every word you say. That doesn't mean they don't have selective hearing, but they understand. So this 4-hour course is designed to guide you through, when working with the animal on your table, what is the tone of voice? What are the words you need to say? What is it you need to help the animal understand is happening? For a first-time client, this can be crucial for you to understand. Most of the time, you have repetitive clients and they get to know you and they get to understand the routine and the energy. But for the first couple of times when you have a new client, this can be a game changer. Animals really need to know what's happening and how to process what is happening when you're working with them, no matter what field you're in. So this is another great course. Just again, it's 4 hours through the academy, through the campus. Anyone can take it. It is, again, assigned to some of the master programs, but it's open to anybody who's just, maybe you've been grooming for a while and you just want a little more clarity, or you want the animals to be a little more settled. You've kind of reached a plateau and you're like, okay, I just cannot get these guys to settle more. This is another tip, another tool in the tool shed to help you achieve those goals, to have the best experience you can have while working with the animal on your table. Introduction to essential oils. We spend the 4 hours talking about the difference between cats and dogs and how they break down essential oils. And it's very important that you pay attention because dogs process essential oils differently than the cats do. We talk about what is toxic to each, what is safe for each, and how to use them. How do you dilute them? What is diluting them? Do you use them straight out of the bottle? What kind should you have? 4-hour class, what the benefits are for using essential oils, and not just really for the dog on your table, but for your shop and in your home and your pets and your animals that you have that live with you. Essential oils provide a huge benefit. They are physical, mental, and emotional and spiritual tools that can help your animals achieve their highest and bestest health status, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Again, though, it's important to understand some are toxic to each species, and knowing how to use them is incredibly, incredibly important. You have to know how to use an essential oil if you start to do that. Again, it's a 4-hour class, all online. Anyone can take it. Again, I believe this is another course that's required through some of the master programs through the academy, but it's open to anybody who's interested in taking the course. I found it extremely knowledgeable to teach. And I even found out so many things after using essential oils for years and years. I was like, I didn't even know that. So I would suggest, if you're curious about it, take the class, spend the 4 hours, and get some basic information so you can start to move down that road. We all want a better environment and a healthier environment for the animals that we work with. The last 4-hour class that I teach through the academy is the introduction to pet massage. And like the other 3 that I teach that are online, just the 4-hour courses, it's 4 hours. It's a basic introduction to what pet massage is and why should you use it. I found it interesting. A lot of people think they just need to put their hands on their animals and start digging, and that's not it at all. You need to know where you are transferring the pressure to, how much pressure is acceptable, and where are the points that are going to get you the best benefit. We all know massage is relaxing, physically, mentally, and emotionally. We all know that it's a great health benefit. You don't have to be, quote unquote, trained to do pet massage on your own animals. And even if you've got a dog on your table, just a couple, boom, squishes and nice pressure on a paw or behind the ears or the tip of the ears can make a huge difference in changing their demeanor and their energy, and it helps to relax them. I found the pet massage to be quite knowledgeable. And again, it's just an introduction. You're not going to go out and start burning up the world after it, but it is one of those things to give you better knowledge, another tool in the tool shed, So perhaps you're a dog sitter or you have a doggy daycare, and sometimes you have an animal that gets stressed for some reason, or even on the table. We use all of these things that we've talked about, whether it's pet massage, essential oils, being aware of your energy, and communicating with the dog on your table. All of these have a huge benefit, and they are greatly, greatly needed for a lot of people who just don't have that knowledge and information that they can help the animal.